June 1967, the Middle East is a powder keg. Tensions are boiling over. Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, backed by other Arab nations, are massing troops on Israel's borders. Rhetoric is escalating, and the world holds its breath, fearing the outbreak of an inevitable war for Israel. Surrounded and outnumbered, the situation looks dire. Survival itself is on the line, but behind closed doors, a daring and audacious plan is being finalized, a plan so secret, so risky, that its success or failure would determine the fate of the nation. It was called Operation Focus. The core of Operation Focus was a massive, preemptive surprise attack. The goal was to neutralize the enemy's greatest threat, their air forces, before they could even get off the ground. Israeli intelligence had spent years meticulously gathering information, building mock-ups of Egyptian air bases, and practicing their attack runs. The plan was precise down to the second. Israeli pilots would fly in unconventional routes, heading west out over the Mediterranean Sea before turning south towards Egypt, flying just feet above the waves to stay under enemy radar. They would maintain strict radio silence. The timing was also critical. They would strike at 7:45 a.m., just after the Egyptian Dawn Patrol had landed and their senior commanders were on their way to work, creating a window of maximum confusion. On the morning of June 5th, the plan was set in motion, nearly every single one of Israel's combat aircraft took off in a series of waves, leaving the country virtually undefended. It was an all-or-nothing gamble. As the first jets screamed over their targets, they unleashed a storm of destruction. The primary targets weren't just the planes, but the runways. Specialized bombs were used to crater the asphalt, trapping hundreds of Egyptian aircraft on the ground, making them easy targets for the waves of Israeli fighters that followed. Within minutes, airbase after airbase was turned into a graveyard of twisted metal and burning fuel. The attack was swift, brutal, and unbelievably effective. The results were staggering. In less than 3 hours, the backbone of the Egyptian Air Force was shattered. Over 300 aircraft were destroyed on the ground. Operation Focus then expanded, targeting the air forces of Jordan and Syria with similar devastating precision. By the end of the day, Israel had achieved total air supremacy. The ground war had barely begun, but its outcome was already heavily influenced by what happened in those first few hours. Operation Focus went down in history as one of the most successful and decisive air campaigns ever executed, a masterstroke of strategy and courage that reshaped the Middle East. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more incredible stories from history.